Ray Harryhausen was the king of stop-motion effects back in the golden age of movies, and was responsible for inspiring a multitude of filmmakers and special effects movie artists. Harryhausen would make his last stop-motion film in 1981 with Clash of the Titans. He designed and constructed all of the creatures using the old method of stop-motion, which by this time seemed to be in its final days. Clash of the Titans offered up the last of the great stop-motion effects that have now practically been phased out of modern science fiction fantasy films. Today, these effects are considered prehistoric, especially in an age of CGI-driven effects films. Clash of the Titans offered up some wonderful creations by Harryhausen, from Medusa, the Kraken, to the Pegasus. The film was the idea of screenwriter Beverly Cross.
That was originally Beverly's basic idea because he was a scholar of mythology. He lived in the Greek islands for a while, and he always wanted to put Perseus and Andromeda on the screen. So I designed certain scenes and he wrote them in the script. Beverly had to tie them all together along with my drawings and concepts of new sequences so that the whole picture made sense and could hold an audience for an hour and a half.
Cross had the idea of Clash of the Titans in 1969. He also was uncredited for his work on Lawrence of Arabia, and was married to Maggie Smith, who appeared in Clash of the Titans. He took the idea to producers Charles H. Schneer and Ray Harryhausen, and developed a storyline centering on Perseus and Andromeda. The story was modified to add more creatures to the mix, to be approved by the UK Standards and Practices censors. The original script, which had Perseus cut off Medusa's head and simply throw his shield at her. This scene was cut out because producers felt that a hero decapitating someone would not be appropriate for children. Other scenes considered not appropriate were the scenes which depicted Pegasus being torn to pieces by the Kraken and Andromeda appearing naked during the climax. Changes were made to the script yet again, and the film was eventually approved and given an A certificate, so those aged 5 and over were admitted. But the film would not be recommended for children under 14 years of age. Columbia Pictures were initially set to distribute the film, but after the change of leadership in the studio, the film was dropped. Producer Schneer took the film to Orion Pictures, who insisted on Arnold Schwarzenegger playing the lead, but the producer believed the role of Perseus would be far too hard for Arnold due to his thick Austrian accent, and it required way more dialogue than he could handle. He also thought that a Greek hero would be more athletic and not overly muscular, and would rely more on cunning than strength, and he thought casting a muscular actor like Arnie was somewhat cliché. Schneer approached Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, who loved the script and made sure the producers and crew would be well looked after. In casting the lead character Perseus, they considered a number of actors from Malcolm McDowell, Michael York, and Richard Chamberlain, but it was relative unknown Harry Hamlin who got the part. He was apprehensive at first, but after seeing the lineup of actors cast, like Sir Laurence Olivier, he took the role. Maggie Smith, who was cast as Thetis, was close friends with Olivier, and she convinced him to join the cast to play Zeus. Schneer put the film together and chose a number of well-respected British stage actors to play the gods. Laurence Olivier was paid $300,000 for a week's work. MGM overruled the choice of John Gielgud to play Aemon. The studio preferred an American actor because they didn't want the public to think that they were just casting an all-English cast. Instead, Burgess Meredith was cast. Jack Gwilym appeared in the movie as Poseidon. Pat Roach played Hephaestus. Roach was a respected Shakespearean actor, mostly on the BBC productions. Roach was also a professional wrestler. He is mostly known for appearing in Raiders of the Lost Ark as a henchman who fights Indiana Jones. He also appeared as a henchman who fights Indiana in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom in 1984. The character Calibus had no dialogue and was purely a stop-motion character. After a rewrite of the script, dialogue was added and the role was given to Neil McCarthy, known for his acting work in films like Where Eagles Dare and Zulu. To direct, producer Sneer chose Desmond Davis, mainly due to his experience working with Shakespearean actors. Davis's work included Girl with the Green Eyes in 1964 and I Was Happy Here in 1966. The story revolves around Perseus, the mortal son of the god Zeus, who goes on a quest designed and directed by his father. Thetis, the angry goddess, tries her best to hinder his path. Perseus has to solve a riddle and win the love of the beautiful Andromeda and defeat her former lover, Calibus, who is the son of Thetis, who has been cursed and turned into a monster. Aemon, a poet, and his mechanical owl, Bubo, who was introduced to capitalize on the popularity of R2-D2 from Star Wars, help Perseus on his quest and help him catch a winged horse named Pegasus. In the process, Perseus fights giant scorpions, beheads the evil Medusa, and stops his bride from being sacrificed to the Kraken. Clash of the Titans was a massive undertaking for Ray Harryhausen. Harryhausen also produced the film, and Clash of the Titans would be his last film as he retired from filmmaking shortly after. Filming commenced in 1979. The film was shot at Kynance Cove and at Pinewood Studios on the 007 stage in England. Other locations included Paestum in Italy and the Azor Window in Gozo, Malta. Star Harry Hamlin was apparently against the idea of starring in the film because it didn't stay true to Greek mythology, and when the day came to film the scene, he still was apprehensive and threatened to quit the movie. He remained in his trailer, which annoyed the producer Charles H. Sneer, director Desmond Davis, and producer Ray Harryhausen. This would result in the scene being rewritten. Sir Laurence Olivier was very sick during the making of the film. He would often go and lean on his tall, solid co-star, Pat Roach, saying, "Let me draw some of your strength, dear boy." Stars Harry Hamlin and Ursula Andress were romantically involved at the time of production. They actually had a son, Dmitri, born in 1980, after filming was completed. Sadly, their relationship ended in 1983. Released on June the 12th of 1981, Clash of the Titans grossed $41 million at the box office in the US and was second to Raiders of the Lost Ark at the box office, which was released the same day. Critics gave great reviews.
Harryhausen's magic is at its best in the new movie Clash of the Titans, a charming adventure film full of Greek mythology. Now, some people are calling Clash of the Titans a terrific children's film, but that's not quite fair. I genuinely enjoyed it. It has some very strong storytelling and grand-scale adventure, so I think it's better to say that this is a fine film for anyone who enjoys a good adventure picture.
I had a great time while I was
Me
watching
too.
this movie. I thought it was in the great romantic tradition, and there was something that I just thought about when you were mentioning Ray Harryhausen. Ray Harryhausen. A lot of people would say, why does he go to all that effort of taking these little models and moving the little arm like this or moving the horse's wing like this, when somebody like the Walt Disney Studios can animate anything they want? And in movies like Song of the South, they combined real actors with little cartoon animated figures. And I think the answer is, we know that a cartoon animated figure can do anything, but it's amazing to see things that are apparently in the real world. Flying horses, two-headed dogs, one-eyed witches, and so forth.
Right.
And what he does by putting those mythological figures into the same frame with human actors is it's ideal for Greek mythology because at that time those figures walked the earth with ordinary people, so it's perfect.
It's perfect for this film, and you know, there are a lot of big adventure films coming out this summer, and I have a sneaking suspicion this film could get overlooked by a lot of people who are going to be running to the Superman sequels and other films like that. This is a film that I know especially young people will love it, but I think this is a film for people to take a chance on. This is called Clash of the Titans. See, I'm already slipping into
You're thinking of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right.
I think you should see both.
A novelization by Alan Dean Foster was published in 1981 and elaborated more on the characters in the story. There was even a toy line, produced through Mattel. John Barry was originally hired to score this film and even recorded 15 minutes of music for the film, which Harryhausen did not like, so composer Lawrence Rosenthal was hired. He creates a wonderful score, perfect for an adventure film based in Greek mythology. There was even a sequel that was pitched to the studio, titled Force of the Trojans in 1984, but nothing ever came of it. Clash of the Titans was sadly Harryhausen's last film, but it was a true testament of how clever and inventive he truly was. The film is wonderfully inventive and a great adventure film, with so many epic moments of stop-motion animation. Sure, it looks fake by today's standards, but there's something truly magical about the effects. The film's true stars are not the classically trained Shakespearean actors like Sir Laurence Olivier, but the classic Harryhausen effects, which are the most memorable. My name's Jonathan. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and like what you see on my channel, please subscribe, and if you would like to become a patron on my Patreon, click on the link below.